guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my office. So this week I've been working with students that are getting ready for performance assessment, that are getting ready to graduate and actually go out here and become teachers. And so they kind of struggled with the lesson planning concept. So they had several questions but didn't want to ask about lesson planning and making sure that they were effective and things like that. So this week in this video, I want to talk to you about the components of a good lesson plan. Hey guys, like this video and want to see more? Remember to hit like, subscribe, and don't forget that little bell so you can stay abreast of all the tea that I'm spilling. Okay, so there are 8 components that I use when I'm creating effective lesson plans to ensure that my lesson plans are going to do what they need to do for my students, to ensure that they're going to grasp the content and that I am considering all of their needs and their interests and their cultural backgrounds and all of those things as I am preparing to teach them a new concept. So here we go. Number 1, you should have clear and concise objectives, right? Or standards. What exactly are you trying to teach the students, okay? What is it that you want them to know? What is going to be the end all of that lesson? All right, clear and concise objectives helps the students know what it is that they're learning, right? Now, a tip that I always use is I always have my students look at the objectives. I say them to them, I explain it to them, and then I have them repeat it to me in their own words exactly what it is that they think that I am looking for or my expectations are for them for that lesson for today, right? That helps you see as a teacher what it is that they think that you're doing or you want to see versus what it is that you're actually saying, and you can clear up and reteach or go into further discussion as needed based on their response to you. Number 2, activate their prior knowledge, okay? What information is necessary for them to know going into this lesson? What are some things that they should have learned already that they need to know that's going to be able to assist them with the task that they're going to be completing today, okay? That can look in a variety of ways. It can be questions. You can give them like a little bell ringer of information that they should have known, and then some kind of way talk about it and transfer it into what you're going to talk about. It could be a video, and you can and have them identify the things that they can do or that they have done. There are several ways that you can activate prior knowledge, but activating that prior knowledge lets you see where the students are before you start teaching the content. What areas do you need to go back and reteach, and how you can move forward. Number 3, I love this. This is actually my favorite part of the lesson plan. It's the activities and materials. What exactly are you going to do, right? What are the things that you're using in order to get these students to grasp the concept that you're trying to teach? I love this part because you can be as creative as you want. You can do whatever you want. You can use whatever you want to get those students to learn that content. That's where I throw in all of my strategies, all of my cooperative learning, all of my active engagement. I put my concentration there, and it allows me to find those fun, engaging, creative ways to get the students to learn the content. Number 4, this is a big one for me because I'm a special educator. My accommodations and modifications. Okay, what exactly am I doing for my students that need that assistance with me, that need that support to help them grasp and access the content? Okay, now remember this: your accommodations and your modifications, that is something that you plan on doing within the lesson to ensure that the students are grasping the content. Okay, and they don't always have to be for students with disabilities, right? There are some students in your class that we know are below grade level and they struggle a little bit. So what is the best way to reach them, right? That is the way that you should be teaching. How can you get them? How can you give them that access to that content? What is it that you need to do? You do those things for those students, accommodate the students with the necessary accommodations and modifications that they need if they do have documentation that says that they have a disability of some sort, as well as your English language learners. But make sure that you are putting the students in the best situation to be successful with the content. Number 5, this is your instructional delivery method. What do you plan to do? How do you plan on delivering this instruction to these students? This is kind of the I do, we do portion of your lesson. So as you're planning, what do you want to do? What questions do you want to ask? Are you going to use direct instruction? Are you going to use small group? Are you going to do whole group or peer to peer? Are you going to do cooperative learning? What exactly does that look like? Okay. Make sure that during this portion you are thinking about you have to do that I do, we do portion. So making sure that you are modeling your expectations for your students, what you want to see, giving them an opportunity for that guided practice where you walk through it or maybe you complete it as they walk you through the steps of completing whatever the task is. Ensure that you plan those things out. Think about the students that you'll be serving. What kind of questions you may need to ask those students that you know are going to struggle with the content or they've already shown that they are struggling. So this is an opportunity for you to plan the ins and outs and the do's and the don'ts of your lesson. Nobody knows your students better than you, so plan accordingly. Number 6, this is the student independent practice portion, okay? This is the you do of the I do, we do, you do model, okay? So what exactly are they going to do? Okay, how are you going to see what they are learning, where they are with the content that you are teaching them? All right, so give them some kind of assignment that demonstrates their knowledge of what you're teaching and allows them to show you where their grasping of the content is, right? Make sure that you are putting them in the best situation to demonstrate their learning. Make sure it's a preferred learning style for them, okay? There are some things that we need to do that there's a specific strategy that we need to see, but give them that authentic choice of when it comes down to demonstrating your learning. Okay, I've shown you 2 methods of solving this problem or for identifying the main idea of this passage, okay? So choose one and show me what you know. This is the independent practice in which you kind of get to monitor where they are, how they're doing, where do you need to go back and reteach, what you need to go back and reteach, or is this something that a peer can help you fix in group work? Number 7. All right, child. Now you've done all of these other things. I know you are tired, right? By the time you get to this point. All right, but it is necessary. How do you close the lesson? Okay, what is it that you do when you close a lesson? Typically, most teachers that I've seen, and I've actually done it myself, you complete some kind of activity. It can be an exit ticket. It can be you guys have created a chart, typically a KWL chart, and they're completing the L portion of the chart. Whatever it is, make sure that it is a way that you can assess what the students are learning and how they are doing with the content that you're teaching. Look for those errors or those common misunderstandings that the students are having with the content so that you know what you need to do as you are progressing and moving forward with the lessons. And number 8, what kind of assessments are you going to use? Okay, what is exactly is the way that you want the students to show you how they have done with the content? How are you going to assess their knowledge that you have given them? Okay, the one thing that I want you to ensure is that your assessments do align with what your objective is and what you have taught them. Okay, so for example, if you're working on adding, right, and you are adding we're just learning the numbers, so we're matching maybe quantities to sets or something like that. You don't want your assessment to be answer these word problems because that's not what your objective said that you were doing. Okay, so make sure that your objectives align with your assessments and that your assessments are measuring only what you have taught them, nothing extra, because for those students that do struggle or have not grasped that content, it is really difficult for them and they don't get to put their best foot forward. Hey, so that's it. Those are the 8 components of an effective lesson plan. I hope that you learned something today out of this video and that you got something that will help you intentionally plan for the success of your students. I am out of here. It's been a long day today. I am ready to go home and self-care, okay? You guys be blessed. As always, be a blessing. Until next time, class is dismissed.